Yeah.
All right, so we are now on the night of September 10th. And
Rouse.
the belongings that you have acquired, the loot that you have gotten for yourselves, really hasn't come up because there was a lot going on towards the end of the night in the Elysium. I'm going to go ahead and say that Custos does offer you all a point of status for everything that you've done.
Woo.
However, of course, they are wondering and have sent out scouts to see if they could find any information on Mr. Indrid, since they did not return with you. But taking inventory of everything that you guys found and anything like that has not happened because of how insane it is in the Elysium. Getting people in, making sure people are healthy, trying to feed the Kindred, which is nearly impossible, and also how close it was to dawn when you guys arrived. So, sleeping in very close quarters, most likely. I'm just going to go ahead and say he gave you that sitting room that you were in for your own private area. And unfortunately, the best he can do is a few cots. So when you all wake up, that is what you are going to start with, is the fact that you have your that you are in cots in that sitting room as you start coming to. Doctor is Dega back?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, all of you will wake up pretty much around the same time as it is, because there's so much commotion happening in the Elysiums anyway.
There's rouse checks for the evening.
Yes, I would like rouse checks. Now, this also keeps in mind how much blood you had in your system when you went to sleep.
Right.
Looks like everybody maintained their hunger except for Emil, who wakes up hungrier.
Okay, and you are all sleeping in the same area at the moment. I need Emil to go ahead and throw me one more rouse check.
Okay. That would be a success.
Okay, that is you are actually going to succeed in that. So you do not get hungrier either.
Okay.
You don't know why. You feel like you actually should. Like you feel that you should be hungrier, but it just kind of fades.
Interesting. And I am waking up still obsessively inspired by the.
Yeah, you wake up you wake up just with the grand feeling of art can do anything. No matter what anybody says.
So, waking up, is there a
Emil-
way for me to...
Emil wakes up looking like he's already deep in thought about something.
to schedule a talk with the prince?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm talking to Mekhet.
What exactly did you say? It was kind of shaky.
Oh, sorry. Is there a way for me to set up a meeting with the prince?
Well, the last thing that you knew is that no one knew where the prince was. If he did show up, it would probably have to be like super early this evening, like right before you woke up, if he's here or not. The only way you're going to get any actual information about that is if you speak with Custos, who is the keeper of Elysium. So technically the highest status individual in the area.
Okay. I will go for that.
Okay. He's not hard to find. Also, let's just would you guys have just dropped off the stuff with him, or would you guys have held on to that until later? Or are you guys just deciding to keep everything for yourselves?
Well, Sam had a lot of the stuff on him. From my understanding, he's one of Custos's, so I imagine some of it went back.
I think, given the situation, that would be up to Dr. Ford, because Dr. Ford has been the one communicating with Sam for the most part.
As far as the Hunt rifle, Emil wants to understand it more before he hands it over.
Okay.
Yeah, so anything that you are holding on to, Dr. Ford doesn't necessarily like turn over, but because she doesn't technically own Sam as a ghoul or a retainer, she does return Sam and the armory that he is carrying in garment bags the night that we all returned.
Okay. So let's just take an inventory real quick. We have 7 total ballistic vests, 6 of which are being worn. So I guess technically that means 6, right? 6 vests, 1. Actually, God, no. 6 vests total. 4 of them. 4 of them being worn because.
I had to take mine off.
Yeah, Benny had to take his off, and Paul had one as well. We also have 1 flashbang grenade left, 1 combat knife, 2 assault rifles, 1 shotgun, 2 9mm pistols, 1 hunting rifle, 2 crossbows, 2 swords, and 4 daggers.
And I think Emil picked up a couple of the daggers.
Okay.
And a second crowbar.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Let me go ahead and mark down that you have 2 crowbars.
So I did take a note from the last session that Dr. Ford had a 22 or a point. It was
Yeah.
22 millimeter.
Yeah, this is just the stuff that you guys picked up along the way, not the stuff that you went out with. Your weapons are yours to take care, are yours to keep track of.
9mm as well.
And then also a very large flesh-bound book that Benny has.
What? With the who? No.
If my memory serves me right, I had obtained 4 clips of the ammunition for this mysterious weapon, right?
Yes. All right. So who went off to go talk to Couscous?
I did.
Benny went. Okay, cool. All right. So while everybody else would be in that room still, I'm assuming laying out what you have, trying to figure out exactly what is worth telling anyone about.
Emil has left his newfound possessions just laying next to his cot.
Okay.
He's currently scrounging around for pen and paper and is fervently writing down ideas.
Okay. I don't think it's going to be too hard for you to find just a notebook and a pen or something like that.
Actually, I just remembered, I keep a little pocketbook on me, so
there you go.
He is scribbling in that.
Okay.
Completely lost in whatever it is he's writing down and not paying attention to anything else.
Okay.
Dr. Ford will sit down next to him and start powdering her face and making sure her makeup is not ruined, while kind of gently looking at what he's writing at.
Okay. That being said, okay. All right, that's not too much of an issue. I had to double check on something for Dr. Ford, but you should be good. How about Mr. Prophet? Doing anything interesting?
Hey, Doc, Who do we got to talk to get about getting a couple cold ones?
Ooh, that's a good question. I haven't thought about that.
My beast is thinking about that.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I could use a couple cold ones. Sam.
Sam is not here with you.
Yeah. We might
Asking
have.
Dr. Ford. Where's Sam?
Well, I returned Sam to the gentleman keeper Elysium because he's technically not mine, but perhaps we should follow up with him as he is technically our host and probably have some information about where we could get a couple cold ones.
Like that. I got to tell you about the person I met.
Oh,
First things first.
okay.
So Prophet will go off and go looking for Sam.
When he says when they say cold ones for like the second or third time, you just hear a Mill kind of pipe up to himself, just ice sculptures, yes, and he starts writing that down.
Nice. All right, so Benny.
Yes.
I love the fact that we have a Banu Hakim named Benny. That makes me so happy.
Didn't need a Benny.
So you went and approached Kuskos first.
Yes.
Okay. He is... You're going to find him nervously staring up the stairs towards where Kirill was last night. It's not too hard to see what he seems uncomfortable about. But you can see that Kirill has spray painted a big white X on the wall where he had ripped through, exposing an opening. He doesn't even notice you walk up. He's so involved in just what's going on.
I'll do the classic clear your throat, even though you do not have to.
Oh, yes. How can I help you?
Yes. About what happened last night, I'm kind of not interested in the reward status. I want to stay as low-key as possible. So in exchange for that, was there any chance I could possibly get one of the anarchs throughout the city, possibly staked or something? I have some experiments I need to run.
He looks at you. He looks at you, serious, pursed lips. His eyebrow raises a little bit when the Banu Hakim asks for an anarch.
I know you understand what I am.
I'll see what I can do. You've done a great service for us. Speaking of, Sam came to me at the end of the night last night and was telling me that you all found quite a large arsenal.
Oh, yes. The tailor shop? Bags and bags of guns.
Interesting. And you all have them in your quarters at the moment?
I do believe they were returned with Sam. Only thing I kept was a shotgun and a flashbang grenade.
I'll see what I can do about your request.
Thank you.
And he'll start walking towards your area.
Walk behind him.
Okay. So as you guys are about to walk out to go look for Kostos, Benny and Kostos walk right in.
Ah,
Greetings, Kindred.
just the person. Greetings. Just the person we were about to ask for.
How can I be of
Did you miss
assistance?
me already? I'll walk past Hibiscus.
Like you're leaving?
No, into our area.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Over to my area and make sure that that book is covered with my hoodie.
Ah, yes. So, you have all done a great service to us last night. And he's looking around at all the weapons that are just kind of strewn about at the moment. I see you all have such a had a good haul.
So of course, as you're more than aware, we were able to successfully visit at least 2 of the 3 places we were hoping to reach last night. It was quite the bloodbath out there.
Yes. Well,
The city is basically a battlefield.
well, given everything that's going on, it's not that much of a surprise.
I know my reputation precedes me as some sort of soldier, but I'm no soldier, sir. I'm more like an archaeologist.
Smugly looking up from his pocketbook, Emil goes, and speaking of soldiers, dear keeper, there were quite the number of Vatican soldiers outside the haven.
Vatican.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yes. Uh, the contents, or I guess I should say the origin of this mortal government assault is Vatican military.
He just gets a look of concern, deep, deep concern on his face when you say that. Not that I'm denying what you're saying, but do we have any proof of this?
yeah, the symbol on their vehicle.
The immediate vicinity of our city is surrounded by this grotesque red fog filled with the sounds of moans and screams. I'm aware of how macabre it sounds, but it is the truth.
I've
These
heard,
soldiers,
I've heard complaints of that.
And the faces in the fog are horrific. Ugh.
can't say I saw any faces, but in a kind of a pseudo arrogant kind of tone, Emil will reach over and grab the rifle that he took from the soldier that I believe had the symbol on it as well, correct?
It was on the uniform.
Oh, okay, not on the weapon, then never mind.
Yeah, not on the weapon itself.
Okay. Um, and yes, we've more than enough proof, each of us, that can account for it.
Well, I've looked in on the local news and also checked in with various other contacts that I have, and although every kindred that I've spoken to has given basically the same description of this fog, apparently the humans don't seem to even notice that it's there.
They lack the sight to see these things.
Possibly.
Well, if this is
Fascinating.
Inquisition related, which we know for a fact the fog is, they have trucks with their symbol on it pouring this stuff into the city. And the mortals don't seem to notice, then the Inquisition has a weapon that we do not understand, and yet only we can perceive.
And if I remember correctly, Sam was able to see it too.
No, he has
No.
not given me any inclination.
Mm.
Out of character, if I remember correctly, Sam just looked confused, like what we were like trying to figure out what we were talking about at the time.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else I need to be told about?
Hmm.
Much
There
like
may
a
be
guilty
some.
child, Benny will shake his head no.
Okay.
There may be several locations around Prague that are operating as bases, even if they're just makeshift bases. They could move them from night to night, but I can at least point out to where one was on our trips.
Thank you, Dr. Ford. Oh,
Mr. Keeper,
also, Dr. Ford, this was delivered for you during the day. And he's going to reach into his pocket, pull out a small box, and hand it to you.
I think I know what's in this box. She opens it,
It's a cell phone.
assuming yes. She will walk away from the group for a moment and actually go ahead and just call somebody. So that way he can't accuse her of delaying.
Okay. The phone rings once, and he says, "Doctor."
I survived the night, if you are curious.
That is good to hear.
Yes. Although we were unavoidably detained and could not accomplish all that we had hoped to.
Is there
So
anything that we need to know about?
well, for the time being, the sheriff has been, how do I put it, put at ease from his temporary frenzy. The whole city of Prague is under an assault by the Vatican, and where the hell are you?
Just outside of the city.
Oh,
I can enter the city.
oh,
I am told that the Kindred are reporting the red gas.
yes, it has happened. So, for the time being, I do not believe that I can leave Prague. This
No,
is
no, you can't. This is the same thing that happened in 2008 to the
yes,
Chantry.
precisely. Do you know if there are any other, how do I put it? Do you know if there's any other allies within the city that I should be aware of to be able to provide any assistance?
We're working on getting more Tremere into the city right now.
Hmm.
The problem is the factions are so split on exactly what they should be doing. House Karna is completely useless. The Gortrix
As
followers
usual,
are completely useless. And the fact that
as they want to be.
there were zero survivors in Vienna is making them nervous.
Well, I will endure to survive and continue with my task at hand. So, if you wish to come and assist me, then I would suggest you either come with all haste or come uh, with all additional backup that you can muster.
Well, I am currently in Berlin. I will head to Prague the moment that I'm currently waiting on a delivery. As soon as that arrives, I'll be heading to Prague.
Okay.
We believe that we've found something that may be able to gain a sample of the red mist.
Oh, That will be most interesting to investigate. So, until then, when should I expect to hear from you again?
I would prefer to have you check in nightly.
Of course. Well, I will endeavor to do so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. She closes the phone, or however it's set up.
Mm-hmm.
And she did not care that anyone could have overheard her.
Not even trying to hide his curiosity. Kuskos is just listening. Everything well?
For the time being, I am not dead.
Oh, that is good to
How
hear.
about you?
Given the arsenal that you all brought in, it could be very useful. At this point in time, someone is going to walk in the room with the rest of you. Probably not anybody that you have seen. Emil might have seen him in a security photo once or twice.
Okay.
Benny might have seen him around since you're more local than the others. But this individual walks in complete, completely covered head to toe, in black leather buckled gear, and their face is covered in a very interesting mask. It is ominous. All right, uploaded into the NPCs section. This is the individual that you all see.
Well then.
Kostos, when he notices he's there, is going to slightly jump and go, "Oh, Jesus Christ."
I don't think that's Jesus.
They step forward timidly. They're very small framed, and in a mechanical, modulated voice. You can't even really pick anything human out of this. They just slightly bow, and I am ominous.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Good to meet you.
I am under the impression that you met with one of my agents last night.
We did? When?
I am unaware of this.
One of the people in the suits that kind of look like yours?
I believe he was wearing something similar to the entity.
Oh yeah, that's the guy I forgot to tell you about.
Oh.
Oh, I was about to say, well, we killed the dude that was in the suit that was kind of like yours. Well,
He's not dead, dear. I left him alive.
Omnis looks towards Mr. Prophet and just addresses you by name, Mr. Prophet.
Yes, sir.
Was there something that I need to be made aware of?
Did your operative return?
I have received a message from them.
Well, he did ditch a piece of a flash drive that's kind of in a sewer grate, and I couldn't get through it.
You left it behind.
Well, yeah.
Where is it?
Okay. Probably about 9 paces, I think, to the southwest of the tailor shop, was by the church, and then kind of a pile of excrement.
Without another word, they just turn and leave.
It was lovely to meet you, Emil says, just kind of looking up from his pocketbook.
Well, this Omnis person is an interesting character.
Where did he get that suit?
Custos, looking after them as they leave. Omnis is strange, but he is our head of security. And good friend to Prince Marcus.
Well, I guess Nosferatu.
Well, he is the primogen of the Nosferatu, so I assume yes.
Explains the suit.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It explains the suit.
Yes.
Slightly less noticeable.
Omnis has a auxiliary dwelling beneath the catacombs here. Not 100% happy with the amount of traceable technology that they use.
So you're saying even this location could easily be compromised too?
That was the other thing.
Omnis insists that it's safe, but I don't trust it. What was the other thing?
The other thing was his agent had figured out how to use that gear. He thought that, remember where the prophet looks towards the aggressor group. Remember the door that was open and y'all kind of left and I went in? Oh, well, Emil came in and peeked in. Well, there was a computer in there, and he was trying to figure out if whoever owned that church owned other properties in the city, and that would be a way to trace where some of these other ops are located or what to put under surveillance. Oh yeah, I fish out the hard drive. Like, I got a hard drive here if you want to check it.
I can make sure that Omnis gets this, and he'll take it. Is there anything else that you've forgotten, Mr. Prophet?
I forgot to ask, could we get a couple cold ones?
He's going to look at you strange for a second. Cold ones? Oh. Are you looking for bags? Blood bags?
Yes.
Don't you need warm ones?
Nah.
I guess it's only right for us to provide our conquering heroes with some vitae. I'll have some brought to you.
Thank you.
I too am a bit famished, but cold does not suit my palate.
I'll make sure it's heated for you. And he will turn on his heel and just walk out.
Emil just kind of turns to everyone. He doesn't intend to microwave it, does he? I was meaning something fresh.
Hour level 7, 45 seconds.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Power level 7, 45 seconds. Makes sense.
Huh.
Get it nice and warm.
Emil just kind of turns his nose up and grimace, and smirks in disgust and goes back to writing in his pocketbook. I need to speak with Maya, and he's gonna, as he's writing, just start walking off.
Okay. Maya is in the Hall of Antiquities, which is off to the left of your little room that's been designated to you. The Hall of Antiquities is this very large, lofty area which has it's a very odd statue for a church towards the back end of it. If you give me an intelligence plus academics check, I can tell you which statue it is.
uh, can I just take half?
Hmm.
Can I take half?
What is your total?
2, and I have 2 hunger dice.
Um.
Now we risk it for the biscuit. Let's go.
Yeah. We're
Just a failure. Just a failure.
just a failure.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's an interesting statue to see in a church. But I mean, you could probably assume that she brought it down here at some point. Probably or probably had it brought down here. This thing's way too big for for her to get herself. But yeah, you see her. She seems to be just arranging things in the area.
He'll kind of snapping the book with one hand, put it in his pocket. My dear, how are you this evening?
Oh, Emil, how are you?
I am inspired, I'll say. Glad to see that your beautiful head remains perched upon your shoulders after Kirill's call it moment last night.
Yeah. No, you did a good job last night. Thank you for bringing that in.
Oh, of course, anything.
It's a hideous statue, but
Yes, but it is a prime example of why art is important.
yes, it did tame the beast.
Indeed.
So how can I help you this evening?
Well, there are a number of things I would like to discuss with you. But we'll start with the most... I hesitate to call it the most important thing, but perhaps the thing that is important nonetheless. Spirits are morbidly low, given the situation,
Yes.
and this place could use a little livening up.
I completely agree. Whereas Kirill's not happy about the fact that I've decided to take this hall for myself, I think I am going to open this as a little bit more of an entertainment area than anything else if we're going to be stuck here for a long time.
I am glad to see that we're on the same page. I was just thinking about about trying to arrange some means of entertainment, a semblance of normality. Any kind of gestures with his hands, kind of grandiosely around him, a semblance of normality in these troubling times.
Well, last night, Kirill, opened a passage for us, you might say. Um, and I'm going to be taking advantage of that and having some of my sound system moved in here.
From the disco?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fantastic.
If I'm unable to, I'm just going to buy some more. But yes.
Well, if there is anything that I or my influences can assist you with, you simply but need to ask.
Well, to be completely honest, we could definitely use some blood. We are getting more and more kindred coming here and less to actually give them. So if you could utilize your influence to bring some of that this way, that would be nice.
I presume you don't mean have mortals populating the Elysium.
I don't know if that's such a good idea. We might actually be stuck unbagged for some time.
His he just grimaces.
Yeah, so does she. She's not happy about the whole concept.
Unfortunate. Well, I will see what I can do. I don't particularly run in medical circles, but I think I might know a wealthy doctor. I'll have to check my address book.
That would be helpful, because until we can get the Anarchs to actually calm down, this is going to be difficult.
It's a messy business, warring in the streets.
Agreed. So many humans caught in the crossfire.
Yes. Almost and kind of callously, he jumps from that somber beat to something more. He kind of just changes the subject in kind of a callous way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
yes,
So many people heard. By the way.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, Loki.
Yeah, it's. Well, either way, I have to know what are what are your social circles, we'll call them, saying about the situation in the city? It's rather grim from what I witnessed myself.
Well, the fighting just seems to be getting worse. The Anarchs are even getting human retainers involved in it during the day. Luckily, however, most of the humans don't seem to, or most, if any of the humans, don't seem to be noticing anything about this red gas. But Omnis actually is talking about how it might be something that he's dealt with in the past.
Really?
Yes, he said something about the Middle East and an event called the Keening. I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but he said that he has something similar that he said that he worked on a project that might be able to help.
Very interesting.
I don't
Perhaps
really
there's
have much information for you on that, though.
If you happen to find anything more on that, I would be interested. I suppose I could speak with Omnis directly myself in regards to it.
She looks over at you like she's like concerned when you say that, and just looks at you and says, "They are very useful."
I have no doubt about that. Do I seem to catch the meaning of why she seems concerned when she says it, or is it one of those like her face is telling me one story while her words are giving lip service to another?
If you want to do a intelligence insight check, I can give you a little bit of information on that.
Yeah. My first reaction is that she's just paying lip service, but intelligence insight.
Yes.
Nope, that's not.
That's not how we do it.
It's not even the right number of dice. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. No, you can tell what she's saying is honest, but it feels like she's more trying to convince than anything else. Most likely, you can probably get this, is that most Toreador just kind of write the Nosferatu off.
Right.
You know? But she seems to be like trying to put in the extra effort to convince you that like not writing Omnis off is probably a good idea.
Okay. Emil, his expression, like when he talks about speaking with Omnis himself. Like, he doesn't seem disgusted by it like many of his clanmates might be.
Truthfully, it's most likely just a knee-jerk reaction to her thinking that most Toreador are just going to hate them simply because they're Nosferatu.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, in that case, he replies, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind they are useful. The Nosferatu typically are very good at passing along information,
Yes.
and it just so happens that so are we. So I'll see
True.
what I can do as far as establishing that connection.
That would probably be good for us in general. The only person that Omnis tends to talk to is Marcus.
Any word on our dear prince?
I've heard a lot of rumor that he didn't make it out of the assembly.
That does not bode well.
At that point, someone is someone like it's somebody that none of you actually know, but someone starts running through the Elysium, yelling, "Everyone has to see this!" and runs towards a set of stairs towards the back of the main chamber.
He'll look to Maya like, shall we?
She just nods and starts heading on over.
He'll kind of like offer her his arm to walk her in that direction.
Your offer kind of brings her back to the situation and who she is, and she slows herself down because she was just ready to start running.
Yeah,
but like when you offer her, she's like appearances and just yeah.
Appearance is everything.
Yes. Now that warning or that announcement that everybody needs to see this, that was loud enough for everybody to hear. So who is all going over there?
I'm bolting.
Off it goes.
Okay.
So I, as a player, have to actually go, but
Okay.
Dr. Ford is probably not going to go and look. She's probably just going to do something else.
Okay.
I don't know what.
If you like, because this I'm about to do this and pretty much just call post because we are past 5. If you like, if you need to leave, I can just send you a message of what was the announcement, or this should just be a minute. It's up to you.
It looks like I can spare a minute.
Okay. You all end up going down these winding stairs where there's just cables everywhere, and you walk into a very large and crowded server room. On one side is this very large, probably 75-inch flat screen television that's bolted to the wall. And there is a tape playing of the events that happened in the hall, where you can see the trauma where everybody was just running, trying to escape the commotion of the explosion. The tape then cuts out to another video that's on the main stage where everyone was giving their announcements and making their cases whether or not the Anarchs and the Camarilla should try to work together again. And on the stage is one of those hunters with a flamethrower. And just as he, or they, can't really tell underneath the armor, right as they lift the flamethrower nozzle and shoot a stream of flame at the prince himself, the seneschal leaps in front and takes the brunt, allowing the prince to escape.